Hi, welcome to Chris BI. My name is Chris Wagner, and today we're going to be going over TSQL statements and some useful functionality that if you're new to SQL, you're going to want to learn more about. All right, before we head over to my desktop, go down there, leave a comment, like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, turn on the alarm bell so you get notified anytime I post new content. All right, let's head on over to the desktop. Okay, when it comes to writing queries, how you write these queries can really help you be more efficient when you build out your queries, when you do your analysis and getting to that right answer. Okay, so these are some of the statements and tricks that I like to use when it comes to writing out these queries. Hopefully you've been following along inside this series so you understand where we're at about installing SQL Server, getting up and running, what the objects are, how you start with writing a select statement, writing your joins, putting in a where clause. All of that stuff kind of builds on each other. All right. A big thing I like to do is make use of that right click, select top 1,000 records. So number one, get that query basis together for me so that I can start to use that as I'm crafting out my query. But we're going to start from there, and we're going to work on specifically, especially when I think about fact tables, I really want to be targeting and aware that I am going to be doing some things like summarize, right? And what's the sum of that value? And I'm going to be doing a group by and order by. Okay, so I want to be prepared for that. Again, as I start to write my queries, I'm always going to start with my from statement to ensure everything parses out, so I'm not getting like weird errors where I shouldn't. I do start with select top 1,000 star from, as I start to begin to parse out, as I start with my fact table, I create my alias FIS. I then add in my date table, and I'm going to be doing that with an inner join on, again, starting with FS, order date key equals dd dot date key, right? And again, I am starting with, select count to again ensure that as I write my queries, I'm not inadvertently losing any values. So still not losing anything. Good to go. Left join customer, or my customer, right? So DC on FIS dot customer key equals C dot customer key. All right, so again, testing this all out. Testing this all out. Good to go. All right, so my basis is right. I have these values right here. Now, I know I'm not going to be starting with my top 100, but here's what I want to make sure that I want to keep close track on. Now, I want to, inside this query, I am trying to pull out the customer information as well as their total sales, right? So I'm going to start with my attributes, right? So I'm going to start with dd dot or dc dot customer, or let's start with name, first name, comma dc dot last name, comma dc dot email address, and then I'm going to also include dd dot sales date, or date, English day, name, no. So I'm just going to do fiscal year. So now I could see for each customer by fiscal year, I'm going to want to see the total of this sales. Okay. Again, I want to be structuring for that summation, thinking about having all of my dimensional fields above my the fields I'm going to aggregate. And so here's where I'm going to start to put in my fact tables fields, right? I'm going to do sales amount, and why don't I do order quantity too? FIS dot order quantity. Okay. Now, if I just run this, I'm going to get the first 1,000. Let's see how this goes. But as you can see, I'm seeing all of the orders that each customer placed. I really want to see the totals, right? And so that's where we get to add in our sum, right? So sum of this statement, sum of this, and now you always want to alias it because right now it has no field name. If I just said sum of something, I have to give it a name, or else it'll just default as blank. And that doesn't make any sense. But you could do that by typing as, and then the statement amount, or you can just put in the value that you want it to be. Okay. Now, inside of SQL, it will ask you, like, okay, so these summations are good, but what is it that you want to how do you want to order, or how do you want to group the information? Now, that is exactly why I kept my dimensional fields at the start and my summations at the last, because then it makes it really easy to go in and say group by. A little tip, I always like to do group by, order by. That really helps make sure that I have everything in like a nice order. Group by, order by. And because I type those out all the time, um, I like to just type them all at once and then go onto the character turn and paste them. Okay. Now look at, these are the results without the summation where we have everything that comes together. Now when I do this, at F5, now I have a single record for each customer and year, and I get the amount, the total amount that they ordered and the quantity that they ordered, right? So I don't have multiple records for any of these people, except for here. You can see Aaron Bryant. Aaron had sales in both 2012 and 2013. So that made it so that he was able to, uh, we're able to differentiate that he got these values uh, inside both years. Okay, so this looks like it's working. I do want to say you can do things like, or you can use this technique even if you're not doing a summation. So like, let's say I'm just looking at customers, right? And I want to make sure that I'm getting unique values. You can do select distinct, right? Select distinct, and you can do this, and it'll give you the distinct values here. Now, this is not as performant as selecting group by in any database system out there. This group by functionality will be much faster than the distinct value. Again, on small databases, you might not notice it, but on big databases, and especially where you have like potentially very large text fields that could be inside here, group by, order by can be infinitely faster than doing select distinct. So like, uh, what's that like meme of like Jay-Z, like, nah, I'm not gonna do distinct order, but group by, order by. That is the meme. All right. So make sure that you go out there and you do that one. Okay. This is This is one of my, this is a big, great tip. I highly recommend you check this out and do this anytime you're writing a query. Okay. Now, um, another thing that I want to cover inside here, quick, is the case statement. Case statement is allows you to basically craft a logical operator for the information that you're looking at. So I'm going to say, in this case, case, DC first name, case, I'm sorry, case. Case follows the following syntax. Case, when DC first name in Christopher, then Chris. And then you can string these together with, like, you could keep going, when, Annie, and yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so I could do Anne, Annie, yeah, right, right there. Right. And then else, whatever else you want to be, right? So we could test this out when I run this. So it's got the else as name basic. So that's gonna be our cleanse. Oh yeah, and as name basic. Right. I run this. I've now created a new column in here. I'm not gonna get any ends because that's gonna be in the first 1,000. Oh no, I might get. So I can hone in on that. Let's do a where this. Just gonna slide that in there too so we can capture all of them. Always want to test out anything we write. Hit F5. You can see that all ands are being converted to Ann. I can see that Christophers are being converted to Chris. And yeah, I guess I have no Annies. So, but generally speaking, I can see that that works. Okay, so this is your case statement. You can get incredibly complex inside here. Do make sure that you're following good, or that you're using white space to do a carriage return after each condition. If this gets too long, if like you're also stringing, and whatever, consider doing a carriage return and a tab in so that it's and blah blah blah, right? That could be really helpful in making your code readable, especially when it comes to complex case statements. All right. Okay. All right. So those are just some of a handful of the tips out there around different statements that exist inside TSQL. These are some of the basic, most commonly used statements that analysts will use when it comes to building out a statement. I hope that you found this helpful. If I missed something, if you want to see something else, leave a comment down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. You know all the good stuff. Thank you guys very much. I hope you have a great day. Peace.